Well, Mel, the holidays are coming up, and you know how widows feel about holidays.
Sure do. And so guess what we have for all of you?
Tell us.
We have an online pre-holiday widow hangout.
Yes! This is going to be so much fun.
When is it?
That's a really good question, Mel. I actually don't know when it is. I'm going to look at our calendar real quick.
I know when it is.
Okay, good.
Okay, it's Friday, November 21st, 7 p.m. Mountain Time.
Excellent.
Whatever that is for you. For Pacific Time, that's 6 p.m. For Central Time, 8. Eastern Time, 9. Anywhere outside of that, we can't help you. The internet can help you.
So if you want to attend, what you're going to do is there is an event that has been created in the Widow Wives Club. You have to submit your information to us, and then we will email the link out to you on the day of the event. So go find that in the Widow Wives Club. That means if you're not in the Widow Wives Club, you should join the Widow Wives Club if you want to come to our cocktail hour.
Yeah, we're excited to do this because it's been a minute. So we're really looking forward to see a lot of faces that we know and some that we don't know yet. I know that we've already had a bunch of people RSVP.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, me too.
Excellent. And you just are going to bring whatever drink you want to, and we'll just spend a little bit of time, talk about how we're feeling about the holidays, and be able just to spend some time with people who get it, because the holidays can be hard and we're heading into that hard season.
Yeah, and if you are not a social person like me, you can still come and you can just sit there, drink your drink, be in your pajamas. You can keep your screen off if you want, but just come and join us.
Yep. Okay, so that was, again, November 21st, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, whatever that is for you. And we'll see you there. Make sure you fill out the form so you can get the Zoom link.
We'll see you then. Ho, ho, ho.
Green Giant. I think that was the wrong vibe. Mel, you have passed another anniversary just recently. Do you want to tell us about that? What happened?
Well, what happened was a day came and went, and that day was November 6th. And November 6th was the day that Scott died in 2017, which means I have been 8 years a widow.
That is bonkers. Don't you think?
Yeah, I remember when I couldn't even conceive of being 6 months out from this stuff, and then a year, and then I would hear of people being widowed for 5 years, and I was like, oh, I'll never live that long. I will die from this because I'm non-functional. And here we are. It's 8, and I think COVID helped delete a couple of years for me in my brain. But I can't even believe it. It doesn't make sense.
Did it delete or did it just make it longer? I don't know, because I think COVID was so hard.
I feel like COVID was its own form of stuff like we experience and grief.
It's like own trauma, right?
Yeah. I think the world is still grieving and like recovering from that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Did you, coming up to the day, did you feel any of those like bodily reactions that told you that it was that day coming up? Or was it just like...
No, here's what's weird. Now I don't feel those pangs. Is that an appropriate word? Pangs?
Yeah, I think so.
And I didn't feel like a trauma was on the horizon. Sometimes what I've noticed the last few years is because it was in fall time, autumn time, sometimes the light hits a certain way. And every so often I'll have like flashbacks of what the weather and the timeline was like back in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just stuff like that. But no, I did have a dream, and it was a dream where Scott was talking to me in the dream. But it's just like I've had like 3 or 4 of these, and they add on to each other. And I remember that I talked about one of these on the podcast, maybe in the last 6 months, where we found out that Scott dying was actually all in a really intricate prank. It was a prank.
It was a hoax. Even worse, because that's done with like malicious intent.
Yeah. So, and in the dream last time, that the time that I told it, it was because he just wanted to not be married to me and wanted to go live with a college girlfriend that he had never met and have a different life in like Oregon or something. I don't know. This one, it added on to it sort of, but it was almost like that part never existed, but the themes were the same. And what I found out in this dream is that he had been living a mile from me this whole time. in hiding. And the people who were in on it were his parents,
Rude.
one brother, and our friend Tyler, that's a physical therapist.
Okay.
They were tasked with keeping it secret. And I said, there's no way that this happened because I saw the body. And in the whole dream, I'm trying to get him to call me back and respond back to me. And somehow I was in front of him. I don't know. Maybe his parents took me to him. I don't know. But I said, this makes no sense at all. Like, this is such a big elaborate prank just to get away from me. Why didn't you just like divorce me like a normal person? And they're like, well, we didn't want to make you feel bad. And I go, but okay, so your nieces and nephews that are like now highly traumatized from this still, like that was okay. And also your parents who are really, really truth-telling people, very good people, they were okay with this lie just for this reason. And then it turns out that because he was playing this quote prank, it actually was against the law. So because people found out about it, he had to go to court. And I wasn't allowed to be at the court because he still didn't want to talk to me. He's like, no, we're just done.
I feel like this is all your traumas thrown together.
I know. And his dad in real life is an attorney. And his dad, I called him and I was like, look, I think that this is actually a symptom of something bigger than he just didn't want to be married to me. Like, that doesn't make sense that this was so elaborate. There has to be something underlying in his psyche that made it so he would go to all this effort to play this prank. And I kept trying to get a hold of his dad for a lot of the dream and it didn't work. But then when I asked how in the world they pulled off me seeing and dressing a dead body, and they said, oh, well, what we did is we made a mold of his body.
Oh, it was
and
Jell-O.
We switched it. No, like they do in the movies. And we painted it and we switched it between the closing of the casket and burial or whatever. It was his real body in there. It was just really cold.
Oh, so he was lying in there and then they switched it for a mold.
I'm like, you can't bury a body. And I saw you close the lid. And they go, well, don't you remember that you turned away for a little bit? And that's when we switched it.
We snuck him in there.
So I guess like now it's a magic trick. But what I found out from his dad at the hearing, after the hearing, was
that fake in your dream hearing.
Fake in my dream
all
hearing.
Fake, yeah.
That he would have to pay a fine for deceiving people of his life. But he didn't want to talk about it. And so the rest of the dream I was still concerned with, well, I think he's acting out because nobody does this. Like, you realize nobody fakes their death to this extreme when they want to just get a divorce. I think that he has problems. He just doesn't want to face them. And the problems that were in my dream, I'm not going to say because they were like really weird, but.
Oh, okay. So you don't think this is like real life problems. This was all contained in the dream, but in the dream he had problems that he was trying to get away from too.
I think
that you knew about. Okay.
Because in real life I've had all of these dreams where he disappears, I can't find him, then I see that he is sort of online, maybe on Facebook, but then the first time he was kidnapped in Mexico, and the next time it was Hawaii and he was kidnapped, and then these other times where he willingly was hiding from the world. But it all had to come back to me that he didn't want to be with me, which in real life, at the first part, I kind of believed that. And I think that's because I've heard near-death experience stories before where they have a choice to come back or not. And some people do come back, some people don't. Then that kind of remedied itself when you, in real life, also talk to me and you're like, well, Mel, what if he did have a choice to come back, but he would be in a coma, basically? And I'm like, oh yeah, then that was better for everybody. So now it's that he was willingly just wanting to leave me. I don't know.
He didn't like you. Turns out he didn't like you.
It was so weird. So that happened before the anniversary of the death. And I was like, that's so weird and kind of hilarious. Like, what a weird dream. It didn't bother me. I wasn't traumatized from it. And then I realized, oh, yeah, it's that time of year. The death anniversary's coming up.
I thought it was quote unquote funny that the week of his death anniversary, it might have even been the day, I'm not sure, but we were texting. We were in a text group with one group of widows, and then we were also in a messenger group with another group of widows, and it was all going on at the same time. And at some point in time, I texted just you, and I was like, what is going on? Like, how are we living this life where we are talking to people from all over the world at the same time about widow stupidity? And how is this our life? It was so bizarre. I mean, it's fun.
And it's not like we always only talk about widow death. It's like things like traveling and who's in your life right now,
Yeah.
and but some of it is like, your whole life changed because this event happened. And I think normal muggly people, whatever, they're like, well, it happened, so like, but now it's not happened. It's like, no, it still has happened. It still put us on the trajectory. And it's still given us something that we can look back on every decision or timeline and be like, I'm in this position right now because of that thing happened, good or bad.
Yeah, and we wouldn't know any of those people. Like they wouldn't even be a part of our lives if that hadn't happened to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like it was just a really weird and it's cool too. Like I'm happy to know these people and to have these relationships and to send memes about ridiculous, things to each other and for them to send their TikToks of, funny things to us. And it's just a wild thing. Now, Mel, you always have had trouble with how long it's been. Like you can't immediately say, "Oh, it's been this many years." Like you're like, "Has it? When was it?" So you're just weird like that. But I find myself now not knowing either. I mean, there was a time when it was like, I know exactly how long it's been, and before now I knew the years, but when you were like, I hit my 8-year mark, I was like, oh, does that mean I'm at 6 or am I at 7?
Yeah.
And I think I'm almost at 7, but the fact that I have to think about it is weird.
You know what helps me to remember at this point how many years?
In 1492, Scott died
On the ocean blue.
on the ocean blue, something like that. Is that how
Yeah,
it works?
pretty much. My dog, Scotty, who I got right after Scott's death, I know that he just turned 8, and I know that because I'm more aware of his age as a dog, like, oh, he's a middle-aged dog, kind of approaching senior. So now that's why I can say, oh, it's 8 years, because I've been actively thinking about that. But normally I have to say it was in 2017, and then it's like, what year are we in right now? I don't remember.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I am right now. I'm like, okay, it was 2019, carry the 5, long division, 7 years.
Yeah.
Not yet, but coming up on it.
I met a new widow 2 days ago at a gig because she put the gig on. And it only happened like a month ago, I think. And she took over her husband's business kind of foundation thing. And she's been like, she has a big purpose to fulfill. So she's been like going and going. And
she's in that like energetic phase, like
Yeah.
do all the things.
And I was like, I didn't want to be like, wah, wah. A lot of us have these things. So I, of course, like that's everybody's experience is different.
Yeah,
But I said,
yeah.
hey, I just want you to know if you find that you might have a hard time with your memory and things like that, that's normal. You're not crazy. And it does get a little bit better. And she was like, oh, yes, tell me how long. I'm like, I don't know. I'm still a disaster,
Like
but
8+ years.
I know. I'm like, I'm not the one to answer that. I've also had a lot of complex kind of trauma in that whole time. So I feel like mine's a little different story. But I said, I didn't know what to, I didn't want to make her feel bad. But I was also like, I don't know, maybe someone just told us like it was a lot better after 6 months. Like, I
Just
don't
making
know.
crap up. Well, she won't remember anyway. So
Yeah, she
it's
would remember.
fine.
And I'm like, I don't want to, but it's that thing where it's like, it is easy. People do want an assignable time period
Mhm.
to grab onto. And I'm like, I don't want to be so real that it doesn't give them hope. Or I don't even know if that 6-month thing is going to make them feel buried. Because that's a
Yeah.
long time. Like you're still.
Well, it's hard. There is no answer either because everybody is a little bit different in that regard, I would say. So I don't know. And then you add like the whole like perimenopause, menopause onto
Ugh.
that. And it's like, what's what? And yeah, I think it's also funny that you're not like, oh, you're going to crash. Like you're doing all the things right now. And you're like, let's do this. And there's going to be a time where you're going to be like, okay, I can't do all this. Like
I
we got to
know.
figure out a different way.
I mean,
to-
I was just playing the gig and I was exhausted, and there's no reason why I should have been exhausted. And she was like Energizer Bunny. So I was like, I don't want to like pop her balloon
Burst her.
at all.
Which is like
But-
also the most terrible balloon, like
I know.
your,
And now
your early widow balloon, which is awful in its own right. Like it's just going to get worse.
But I know. But I was like, oh, well, I'm so glad you're doing so well. I go, I had a hard time. Like sometimes I would have energy, sometimes I wouldn't. And then, then there was a period of time where my exhaustion was just so bad. So and it didn't register with her, which I was glad for because she's in her energetic mode. And maybe, I don't know, maybe she'll keep going.
That's true. Maybe.
She totally could. So I just kind of asked questions. I didn't want to assign anything to her, but
that was smart.
I said, tell me what things you're working on and how has it been running this thing? Because I know what her husband had been doing. It's a lot of stuff. Like, I'm like,
was it sudden or was it?
Yeah, he was hiking and just,
oh,
I know. And she's like, yep, it's been a lot. But we're picking up the slack and like, we're making the mission continue.
We're doing the thing. Yeah.
It's an arts nonprofit sort of a thing. Yeah. And she's like, doing the thing that when we're committed to having the person's legacy live on and doing right by them. But man, I hope for her sake she can keep the energy going. And I go, have you been sleeping? And she's like, yeah, except for I get up really early now, and that's kind of annoying. But then I go all day. So fingers crossed that she has a different experience than me.
That she'll defy all the all the odds or whatever. Something that's been I don't know even what to call it, is that one of my kids is having the hardest time right now and keeps having, speaking of dreams, nightmares about Jason dying again. It's been terrible. So we've been going to therapy and I was like, do you think that maybe we could do EMDR for him? Like, is it weird that 7 years later, it's like still so terrible for him? And she was like, nope, let's try it. And so we did our first session and it was hard to sit through. Like, he was not okay through the whole thing. This is a kind of funny but not funny part of the story. So this kid, he keeps developing allergies. Like, he didn't used to be allergic to things and now he's allergic to, like, he really wanted a cat. And I was like, we can't get a cat. And then his friends have cats and then he's allergic to cats. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad we didn't get you a cat because your face is all puffed up after you pet the cat. And he loves dogs and now he's allergic to dogs. And he's also allergic to fish all of a sudden, eating fish. Anyway.
I think meant pet fish.
Yeah, I know. But he was like trying to get away from whatever was happening. And so he started putting his face and rubbing it into the couch in the therapist's office, like just trying to like burrow and get away from whatever he was feeling. And he comes out and his face is full of hives. And I'm like, oh, do you have a dog? And I know she does because she has like a therapy dog who came for a while. And I'm like, does the dog like get on the, and she's like, yes. And so the poor kid, his eyes are all bloodshot and red. And I was like, you cannot stick your face in the couch because so we had to leave and get him like a Zyrtec or whatever. But it's been crazy and I feel so bad for him. And the hard thing is that to everybody around him, he should be fine. Even to me, I'm like, why are we still doing this? Or why is this coming up again? And it's like so terrible for him. And I just have to be like, let me try and help you, but I don't know how to help you. And then you get hives on your face from EMDR too.
Yeah.
Which is not a normal thing. That's just
Do you think that the allergies are stress and trauma related?
No. I mean, it's super normal for people to just develop allergies.
Yeah.
Like, it happens all the time. And actually, when he was a baby, he had like this weird, this is going to sound so weird, but he had like this mark, kind of like a birthmark on his back that if you rub over top of it, it like pops out like a hive. And it's a specific type of, it's like called a giant mast cell cytoma or something like that. And his pediatrician was always like they need to know about this because this means that he has like a heightened histamine response to things. So it kind of makes sense to me that he's developing allergies because maybe he was predisposed to that, but it's certainly not making things easier for him.
Poor guy.
And Yeah. And then like these nightmares are happening and I I don't know.
I guess you just do what you're doing, and even though
Yeah.
you're not in nightmare mode,
Right.
help them.
And I'm just like, don't be in nightmare mode. Like it's not, but you talk to him and that's just like, but I don't have a dad. And in therapy, he's like, can I have a new dad, mom? And I'm like, I wish it were so easy. You can't go to the grocery store and just choose one. And also, when you do find somebody, it's not like immediately everything's just sunshine and roses and everybody gets along. So you might want that, but you don't also understand the conflict that potentially comes with that. And I think I would say the conflict that comes with it is more often the case than it being just a seamless integration of two families, or you know what I'm saying? So that's another like hard thing to have a discussion about because he's just like, I just want a dad. Like, can I have a dad? And I'm like, I wish you could have your dad back, but that's not an option. And also, it's not just like just add water mix and you can have a new dad either.
What were those things called? The monkeys, sea
Oh, sea
monkeys.
monkeys. Yeah. Or those little things that look like pills and you stick them in water and it like grows a little dinosaur or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grow a
So,
dad. Oh gosh.
yeah. And I'm just like it's so hard. I know so many people who are remarried and it's like hard work to blend families. It's not super easy. And so I'm like, you're just trading in this for another thing that potentially you would also hate. So, Mel,
Yeah.
we have a major announcement to make.
Go for it.
Did you know that right now all plans on Mint Mobile are what?
$15 a month.
Okay, that's truly ridiculous. Do you know how much regular cell phones are?
Yep.
$1 bazillion a month. 15 is less than that.
New customers get 3 months of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month if you sign up right now. And guess what? I use it. I love it. I've used it all over the country, all over the world, and it's great. And if you're wondering about phones, they have those available as well, or you can just port your own number and your current phone over to Mint Mobile. They make it so easy.
So if people are interested in trying out Mint Mobile, how can they go about doing that?
Go to trymintmobile.com/WWDN. And you know what's interesting? When my dad died, we actually put his phone on a Mint Mobile plan because it kept his number going, but it was $15 a month. So there you go. And there's different storage plans, but you might as well just get the unlimited because it's $15 a month.
Absolutely. All right, go try it today.
That's trymintmobile.com/WWDN. Yeah, you never know. And blending families, regardless if it's widowhood or divorce, my gosh. Well,
Yeah.
it's a difficult dynamic that it's never seamless, I don't feel like.
I think that it probably just like the new widow you met, like maybe it happens, but I think more often than not it takes a lot of work.
Well, maybe the first month because everything's new, but then,
Yeah.
people are people and then kids are grown. It's all, yeah, it sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
Are you dating averse still right now? Or should I not ask that?
I'm scared about it, Mel. Like I have so much fear about it that's really what it comes from. Like I still don't even try to put that out in the universe or like I've never and I don't intend to download any apps. I've just been like, well, if something falls in my lap, like I'll consider it, but
Yeah.
no, it terrifies me.
Because just for our listeners listening, Anita has never said, no, I want to remain alone the rest of my life. I do want to be with somebody and have a full life or
Yeah.
whatever. So just if you haven't listened to those episodes, just know that.
It's not like I'm like, oh, Jason was my one and only. And like, I do feel like it's a high bar. And I do feel like I don't know, like the chances of finding somebody are low, which people do. So I know it's possible, but it's like too scary to even think about it. I don't know. Would you consider ever getting remarried?
Yes.
Okay. You would would you just like would you be more likely to just like partner with somebody or would you like to have it be official?
I've thought about this a lot, and the reason why I say yes, I would choose marriage is because of the legality and
Like
things that come with
taxes?
them. Not even so much taxes, because like I love money so much, obviously. I don't care. Whatever. Taxes are taxes, whatever. My dad is an accountant, so all of that is just neither here nor there for me. No, it's because of things like spousal rights
Mm,
or hey, this person's in the hospital, but you're just a partner. You're not
yeah.
that kind of a thing. And hearing people, we've interviewed how many episodes do we have? We're getting close to 300.
Hmm.
And a lot of those are interviews with other widows. It's like before I would have said I would never want to be with anybody again. And I did say that at the time when we were both talking about that in the earlier days, where I go, I know better than to say never. But right
Right.
now I don't have anything to give anybody. And I can't conceive of that. So the answer is definitely no right now, which is then. But I also said, I know that healing is a thing and like, who knows? But I am not like searching for things like that. I don't know. I just am more of an organic type of a person with relationships. But yeah, I would. And because some people have asked me that before and they're like, why not just be a partner with somebody, like a life partner? And I go, here's the thing that you're looking at it from I've been alive and here are my experiences while I'm alive. And so a lot of those things that my friends haven't dealt with yet, they're like, well, it's all the same. Like you might as well not get married, just be with somebody. And I'm like, but I'm looking at it from I've been on the other side with death and I know about some of the pluses and minuses and the legal holes that people get into because of death. And I'm like, you're only saying that because you've not had to deal with those things yet. And it was hard enough being married to Scott, being a widow, and trying to get some of those legality things figured out.
Right.
So it's
Right.
like, that's why I say that. If I loved somebody and, that much, it doesn't matter to me in my heart if we're married or if we're life partners. That's
Hmm.
all the exact same. But because of how the world is set up and systems and things, I would choose marriage and I would make sure that there's lots of legal things set up and protections for both people and just,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at today with it.
When you get married when you're 19, you don't need a prenup. But
Yeah.
but when you get remarried when you're 44, 43, 45, like that is like a consideration, that type of thing.
It's not like I own any
You
assets.
own
I own,
two pianos
I
at
do.
least.
I have some keyboards. I have some dogs. But so for me, I'm like, prenup doesn't sound scary, but who knows? I don't know. I don't have to deal with it right now, so
Okay.
whatever. But yeah, I'm just saying all this stuff from wherever I am at today.
Right. So it will all change as well.
Maybe, yeah, if life circumstance happens. I don't know. What about you? Here's the other thing. We live in Utah,
Hmm.
and a lot of, especially for people with kids that are our age, the community is very religious based in society. And there's a big stigma among some groups where there might be judgment or it might be hard for the kids where they're like, well, wait, that's kind of your stepdad, but like they're not married. What? So, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah. What's interesting is like I kind of wonder if kids would even know, like if they would notice, if they know the difference between those two things. Probably teenagers do. There is a religious component here, but I think the thing that really changes is the whole kid thing. Like I think that just kind of changes the equation for me a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would want it would need to be very like firm commitment, not a wishy-washy commitment. You know what I'm saying? And I do think
Yeah.
that like getting married is kind of a symbolic, like, yes, we're doing this. It's not like we're doing this until we don't want to do it anymore
Yeah.
kind of a thing because of like the risk that is to kids who have already lost something, you
Yeah.
know? It's also just really weird because you know how there's these imaginary timelines that people have?
Hmm.
And to be almost 7 years out and to not have even gone on a date, like I think most people would be like, that's a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is in
But also,
normal
like the
years.
timeline means nothing that people have.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
there's a lot also for you that you're managing because you're not just managing you, you're managing for other people.
Yes, that are driving me
And
crazy.
just the logistics of that, like even without widowhood, that's so freaking much stuff, you know?
Yeah, but then every once in a while, I think,
Hey guys, just checking in and want to say if you are enjoying this podcast,
and you want to see it keep going, maybe it's helped you through your widowhood journey and you think that it might help others on their widowhood journey, you can support that cause by joining our Patreon.
some of the things that you get as a Patreon beneficiary are ad-free episodes, so you don't have to hear ads like this.
You also get exclusive content, and at a certain level, you might also get an exclusive t-shirt you can only get that place.
That is true. It's pretty cool. There are 4 different tiers available, so check it out. It's patreon.com/WWDN.
And as an extra bonus, very often you get your names read by one of my kids, and they will do a terrible job with the pronunciation. And that's like a bonus, I think.
I think it's kind of the best. I would much rather hear somebody butcher my name than say it correctly.
A child butcher it than an adult do it correctly. Yep. So go to patreon.com/WWDN to keep our podcast going and support the widowed cause.
Yes! Thanks, guys! Back to our regularly scheduled program.
But Anita, you could have somebody to help you do this, you know?
That's true.
But in my brain, I think of that whole situation as another thing to manage, right? I don't think of it as additive in the way of like workload as much as I think of it as another thing for me to have to manage that relationship, to manage the relationship that would be between them and my kids, to manage, you know, the weird between Jason and that person. You know what I'm saying? Like it just seems like it just would be more work, not less work. So if I feel pretty happy right now, like it's fine.
Yeah, if something is meant to be, perhaps it will be put in your path. And if it's not right now, that's also cool because
Yeah.
we like to say here, oh, by the way, this is the Widow We Do Now podcast, and I'm Mel, and this is
I'm
Anita. Your worth is not tied to your marital or partnership status. Your worth is tied to yourself. You're a good person.
Nor your healing.
Yeah, and you're healing. It's like you're not, doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. If you're 7 years out and haven't gone on a date, it means what you just said. You've been dealing with a lot of things and you get to do things on your own time.
And also I watch other people do stuff and then I'm like, oh, but look, now they're having to deal with more pain and I don't want to deal with more pain and more stupid stuff either.
So will it be 7 years coming up or 6?
Yes.
Okay,
No,
so
it'll
it
be
is
7.
7. I always forget.
Well, wait, now I'm confused because it was 2019 and we're in 2025 now. So that's 6, right? Because 1 year plus 5. And then in 2026, it'll be 7. Yeah, that's right.
What confuses me is that, and it's the same with my dad's death. It's like his happened like January 1st, and then
Yeah.
Jason's was what, the 3rd?
Yeah.
And so it's like it was still kind of in our brains the other year, but then it was technically the new year.
Yeah. The
So I
next
think that's
year.
why I always think it's 2 years away from mine, but it's really not.
It was like 13, 14 months or something like that.
Something crazy like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I always think of you as being like way ahead of me too. Like she must be like way better at this.
Yep. I am the world expert in this, obviously. I think when we started this, you were 9 months out. And so that means I was like a year and a half plus, right? Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's
I
not
think you
even
were
math.
almost 2 years because we started in October. So it was like 9, 10 months for me, and it was like a month shy of 2 years for you.
If you're looking at it like a baby, a 9-month-old is way different than an almost 2-year-old. And so
True.
I was way far ahead of you. But also at the time, every single day was longer than it is now.
It's totally like people, like a 9 month old is way different than an 18-month old, but a 71-year-old is like zero difference than a 72 and a half year old,
Right.
As you get older, it stops mattering so much.
A 7-year-old, which is you, and 8-year-old, which is me, they're closer in age and less
Yeah.
far apart than 9 months and almost 2 years.
They are, yeah, it's not quite as 71-year-old and 73. They are
Yeah.
a little bit different. Speaking of 8-year-olds, my 9-year-old had his school play that he just did, and it was fantastic. And he was in Frozen Junior, and he played the most important part of the whole show.
What is that?
He was the butler.
Aw.
You didn't even know there was a butler in Frozen Junior, did you?
No, I've never actually seen Frozen the movie.
You haven't, but
No.
you've seen the Broadway
No,
because
I've sat in the pit watching someone play it.
you've heard the Broadway.
Yeah, I've heard some of the songs, yeah.
Yeah, you haven't played for it. You did play for it, I thought.
No. I
Oh.
when I lived in New York, I sat in the pit watching my friend play it.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
then my other friend was the queen
Mm-hmm.
on Broadway.
Okay. See, you know all the stuff
I just
about.
don't know the show, but I know some people adjacent to it. And then I know one of the music directors.
Okay. Well, I got my taste of Broadway life because my friend was one of the directors and she tricked me into helping. So I had to go to like all of the practices and I taught them all of the music, which is
Wait,
funny.
you did?
Yes,
Anita.
I know. And then when it was time for the show to happen, I was in charge of the stage crew.
What?
Yes. And then this was the best part of the whole thing. The day before the performance, we've had 3 or 4 like dress and tech rehearsals. We're at the junior high, and they're like, "Hey, we just found out that they have a new light board to control the lights. Can you figure out how
Oh
to
my God.
use this
Anita.
on Thursday?" And I was like, I'm looking at it. The performance is on Friday. I'm like, these words, I don't even understand the words that it says on here because I have no background in any of this. I didn't do musical theater in school, so
Or
I'm like,
stage crew.
or anything. Yeah. So I was like, just desperately trying to push buttons and see what happened and figure out what they all meant. And I came home and I Googled and I watched a YouTube video. And then the
This
next
is the
day,
best.
15 minutes before the performance, I like programmed the light board to do all the things that needed to happen.
Well, you're a pro now.
I figured just enough out to
Be
make it
dangerous.
be dangerous. Exactly. And then I was a little bit annoyed because nobody even acknowledged the miracle that was. I was like, you gave this to me the day before and told me to figure it out, and I did. And nobody even was like, wow, good job. I can't believe. And it might have been really easy for somebody else who kind of spoke or speaks that
Yeah,
language.
like a professional light person. Like
Yes,
Anita, I can't even respond to the story fully because I'm like in shock. This is hard stuff.
it was. And they were just like, yep, you did it. And I was like, but you don't realize, like, I made it so when Elsa like shot her ice magic that the lights turned blue like right over Anna, and I did
Oh
it like
my
really
gosh.
fast.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I know.
Anita,
It
I
was
I
it was
hereby acknowledge your
thank
hard work
you.
and that's hard. That's
Yes,
really
and
hard.
nobody even knew because like the audience doesn't know.
Guess who knows now? Everyone that's a
Mel.
widow that listens to this and whoever else.
And they're like, I don't even understand what you're saying because what? And I'm like, there's like people do this professionally. They have like degrees, I think, in light board management and operation or something. like
Yeah,
that.
and they have unions for people to be
Like
in.
what is it? Like theater stage craft
Crew, that
artistry? I don't know.
Stagehands Guild is what it's called.
Yes.
Hmm.
May I be a member?
Sure, pay your dues.
Thanks.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that.
I just want to know, no offense to you, but why
Mhm.
did they ask you to do all of those jobs? Was nobody else helping at all?
Okay.
No offense.
I know. It's all volunteers from the parents, right? Which is how a lot of things run. And in the past, I got roped into doing the stage crew when my daughter, who's 19, when she was in fifth grade, that was the first play that we did at the school. And I did that because it got like you had to do a certain number of volunteer hours. And it just got those all done at once. So I was like, great. So I've done that every year since. And this year I signed up for that again. And then they were like, hey, will you help with the music? And I was like, yeah, sure.
That's the
So,
best part.
but I kind of wanted to be like, listen, if anybody doesn't have enough hours, they can borrow mine because I have like 850 hours.
Yeah, they should be paying you now.
They should because I belong to the union, the guild
Yep.
of
The
Lightboard.
Stage Hands Guild.
Yes. Anyway, but it was really cute and they did a good job. Except for half the time I was like, were you not at any of our rehearsals? I taught you that music. Nobody's singing it.
Did you also direct it?
No.
That was the one job you didn't do.
I also did not be in charge of the microphones, which that board
Oh,
is
yeah.
even scarier.
Yep. That's what, when we go speak at Camp Widow stuff, that's my job.
Yeah. There's those, it's like 5,000 knobs and
Yeah.
and then they start to squeal and you have to know how to like unsqueal them and
But do you want to know a trick? You know how
yeah.
that board has all of the buttons on it?
Mhm.
It's all the same one strip, just like 8 times or 16 times. So if it's like, this board looks terrifying because it's a 64 channel mixer, it's just 64 channels of the same exact thing. You just have to know
But
who's assigned.
yeah, but
Yeah.
still like and because it's kids and they're not professionals, like you have to turn off their microphone as soon as they
Yeah.
get off the stage or else they go back there and they're like, I'm supposed to do that, like you can hear it out there. So you have to be on top of that. And that would be
Yeah.
hard for me to like turn them all on and off.
And also, nobody cares about this, but now you will since you
Mhm.
are scared of it. So for example, like Wicked, I'm friends with the audio guy, the head audio guy, and he has it's like every so ever many seconds, depending on what's happening on stage, he has these quote scenes in his board,
Oh
and
yeah.
it automatically will mute certain people. But it's like he's always pushing buttons depending on what's happening on stage. So there could be like 500 different cues, and it's like
Yes.
it's
See, and I
insane.
figured out this is like people are going to be listening to this podcast. Like, what is this? We're now a stage crew podcast. So that was one of the things on the light board is that you could program the cues to happen by time. But I was like, I can't do that because these are kids and they're unpredictable and they're not going to like it's not going to be at the same time. So I couldn't
Yeah.
do that. And also they like in Broadway, it's science, right? They're going to stand here and they're going to do this at this time. And they're like all over the place. They're not standing where they're supposed to be standing.
Yep. And on Broadway, the music, I know this because my friends did it. The whole show is played to a click. And so all of the automation on stage is also tied into what's in the pit on the music. And it's like, can you imagine doing, figuring all that out? I think you did great just figuring out the lights. But if you want a profession in the professional stagehands guild world,
No,
I think you
don't.
could maybe apply.
I don't. I mean, this thing was like the board was probably tiny in comparison to those, what those people do. And you could like choose the position of the light and the intensity and the color and all of these things. And and I just wanted somebody to say like, thank you. I can't believe you figured that out in less than 24 hours and made it
I
look
can't believe you
good.
did.
Yeah.
It is amazing. World, please tell Anita she did a
Thank
great
you.
job.
Thank you. I need a little bit of that.
We hope you liked our Widow Stagehand podcast. Hey, for those who have made it this far, this is probably the only in-episode announcement where we'll talk about this because it's currently in the first part of where our ads normally are to announce the upcoming pre-holiday Zoom hangout.
Yep.
But so if you're listening to this past Friday, November 21st, 2025, this is now defunct. But if you're not, we're having a Zoom hangout with Anita and me and some of our widow friends. And you can find that in the Widow Wives Club under events. So go sign up because this is literally the last chance.
So you have to sign up to get the Zoom link. So go to the Widow Wives Club. There's an event set up. It will have you give us your name and your email address, and then we will send that out. And it's like a cocktail hour. So bring the drink of your choice. Mel, what will you be drinking?
Water.
I'm going to say rum.
Rum. Rum punch. You know, Mary Poppins, when they have their, lime cordial, delicious. Rum punch. I'm so boring, you guys. I love freaking water. I love it.
Will it have ice?
I hope so.
Okay.
I need to get some ice. What about you?
I don't know. It will be probably whatever I can get my hands on.
Tang?
No. I do love Tang, but I don't have any Tang.
I
probably
bet
just
you
be like
could
Coke
DoorDash
or
them
something.
to your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun fact, Anita does not like Diet Coke, Coke Zero. It must be Coke with sugar.
Yeah, it makes me so sad if I drink it. I cannot do any artificial sweeteners. Sucralose, stevia, it will murder me and it murders everybody around me with farts. So, so bad. It's so painful.
Wait, speaking of farts, did you know? And there's a story behind this, but did you know there's a fart spray called Liquid Ass?
What? Like it's supposed to smell like farts?
Yeah, here's where it came about.
Oh, I
You
have
can
a
get
story
out of
about this too.
You can get out of anything if you have diarrhea. But if you're in the event and you, quote, have diarrhea and there's a bathroom there and it doesn't smell bad, nobody's going to believe you. I have a friend she's always in these situations and I'm like, just leave. And she's like, I can't. I feel guilty. I'm like, well, you have diarrhea now. And she's like, ah. So then I thought, wait, is there such thing as like fart spray? Of course there is. So
Of course there is.
I sent her the Amazon link and it was called Liquid Ass. I'm like, look, this is how you can get out of it now. You need to start taking action. You're welcome.
I have a friend whose son got some of that and they sprayed it. They were at a youth camp. This was at a university and they were on one level and then above them was a band camp. They snuck up to the next floor, which is very verboten, and they sprayed this fart spray and then they ran back downstairs. But that fart spray smelled like natural gas. So they got the entire building evacuated.
Awesome.
And then that night he called his mom and he's like, hey, can you come pick me up? And she was like, why? And he's like, I just need you to come pick me up. I just like, we don't want to be here anymore. So she went and picked him up and they were like, we were going to get in so much trouble if they found out it was us. Like the fire department had to come. Like it was a big deal. And yeah.
Was it name brand Liquid Ass or was it an off-brand?
I will ask.
Thank you.
I can't imagine that text going to my friend. Excuse me. Was it name brand Liquid Ass or was it off market? Was it off label?
Asking for a friend.
And she will probably be like, I don't know. I never even saw it. Because it was her 16-year-old son who makes bad decisions.
Well, that sounds about like you and me, right? So, wow. This really went somewhere.
I love how we started at your 8-year death anniversary. We went around, we went to dating, we went dreams,
Frozen,
allergies, stagecraft, farts,
Liquid Ass.
Oh, and our Zoom
party,
cocktail hour.
Oh, one more thing about Frozen. I don't know if you know this. Actually, I think you do because I remember texting you about it and you were scared that I was going to leave. Remember how I lived in New York and then COVID happened and then I came back and then I was like in the basement for a year traumatized and then things kind of started going back to doing things. Well, I got an email in 2021 from the MD of Frozen asking if I wanted to go fill a spot on the tour. Do you remember this? And you were scared. You were like, no. And I said no. It was mostly because I was like, I'm unwell and I have dogs and I don't know if the world will collapse. But
I'm so glad you didn't because it was better this way.
But guess what's funny? Now that MD music director is the one on Wicked. And so I see her often.
Okay. I think it'd be okay now if they need you for Frozen.
Yeah, but Frozen's over.
Is it? They don't do it anymore?
The tour is over. Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't it closed on Broadway too? Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's closed on Broadway.
I don't understand how we've discussed how I don't even understand what Broadway is and how it works.
It's just a freaking corporation run by lots of rich people. That is basically what it is. Hold on, we're gonna find this out.
So basically everything.
It's like everything.
Yeah, but there's like the on Broadway, and then there's the touring Broadway, and then there's the off Broadway, and then there's like the developmental Broadway shows. And
for Broadway, yes. It closed March. Oh, it closed the same day my show closed. The one I was.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it closed March 11th, 2020.
And it never came back.
And it never came back. But the tour, and this is the same with the Wicked tour, the tour never actually closed down. They just paused. They didn't close the production company. And so the tour of Wicked has been ongoing the entire time.
And is Frozen ongoing too?
No, but it closed. It just barely closed like 2024.
Oh. Okay.
That's pretty good. Yeah, so the tours lasted longer than
Well, if you missed it on Broadway, you also missed it at the elementary school. So
you missed it everywhere. And you missed Anita's amazing lightboard skills.
And the butler, who had one line, and it's Queen Elsa has come of age. That was it. The end.
I bet it was the best line of the show.
Mel, it's been a delight to talk to you. I'll see you on Friday.
Yeah, I will see you guys on Friday. Again, in the Widow Wives Club, go to events, find the event, follow the instructions. I've put them in there 2 times, so hopefully it makes sense. Don't just hit going on the Facebook thing. It doesn't do anything. You'll just be sad and you'll forget.
Yeah, you won't be on the list that we try and like protect you guys a little bit. So that's why we're not just publishing the Zoom also. We want to make sure that we know who's there and that, it's not just random people. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Well, I'm Anita.
I'm Mel.
We are 2 widows who really went around the whole world with our topics today, and we're just trying to figure out widow.
We
do
now.
Mel, can you please tell me how you feel about therapy?
I am so grateful for therapy. I do therapy every single week.
Do you think it's a great tool in the widow's toolbox?
I sure do. I think it's a great tool in anybody's toolbox. And I am so glad that I have stuck with it because as time goes on, there are more things that I am able to learn about myself. That goes for anything from healing from the death of my husband to childhood things to trying to get outside and be social or trying to address my own certain personality. So yeah, it's really been helpful for me.
We have so many people in the Widow Wives Club who have started using BetterHelp and have amazing reviews. It takes away so many of the barriers to getting great therapy.
I know one of the things that's hard for people, and we get this question a lot, it's I need a therapist that does XYZ. Who is a therapist that is going to be widow friendly? And I know that is so hard to find. When I did therapy that was not on this online platform, it was hard. And it's kind of trial and error, kind of like a new medication, honestly, like a new antidepressant. And the way that BetterHelp is set up is it's easy to find somebody that has your specific needs as part of their expertise. And you know what? If you get into a couple sessions with that person and it's not a good fit, it's so easy to change. You can ask some of our friends in the Widow Wives Club. They've changed therapists and gotten one that has been a better fit for them. Well, a lot of them are lucky with who they get first time. I am so grateful for mine. I love her so much, and it's literally changed my life for the better.
This is amazing. So if you guys are wanting to add therapy to your toolbox or need a change in who you're seeing right now, consider checking out BetterHelp. They're one of our sponsors. If you go to trybetterhelp.com/WWDN,
you get 10% off your first month of therapy if you sign up with BetterHelp. And let me tell you, the day that I was in the hospital with my dad when he was dying, I was able to instant message with my therapist, and she checked on me all throughout the week. And I was not available for video sessions for a lot of those times because there were things we were dealing with, like mortuary stuff, and I was still able to be in contact with her. So they're very, very responsive, caring. It's such a great platform, and I recommend it to anybody who is looking for therapy.
Once again, it's trybetterhelp.com/WWDN.
And that's for 10% off your first month of online therapy.
You don't even have to wear pants, Mel.
I know this.
firsthand experience.
You can even wear a onesie.
Or a twosie.
Ooh, scary. All right, bye.